Like any good mystery writer, author Gaston Leroux built his novels in layers. On one layer of his most famous creation, The Phantom of the Opera, is a tragic love story about the reclusive, deformed Eric's obsession for the opera singer Christine. But on the other layer, the novel was a celebration of a particular city, Paris, and of a particular building, the Paris Opera House. When we visited Paris, it was a must-see attraction for us, and we recommend that you put it on your itinerary for your own trip. The Palais Garnier is one of the largest opera theaters in Europe. It was built in 1875 by the architect Charles Garnier and has about a 2,000-seat capacity. Some of the most famous operas and ballets were created in this historical Parisian monument. You can purchase a self-guided tour or a guided tour of the building. If you want the guided tour, make sure you book it well in advance. Remember to arrive well before your guided tour begins because the entry line can be very long and the venue can get crowded.
The Opera House in Paris is amazing and we have thoroughly enjoyed this visit. You can see architecture, beautiful art, mosaic floors, a ceiling painted by Marc Chagall, and 1,000 other things here on the visit. We can absolutely understand why this is a top attraction in Paris.
Your tour will start in the Rotunda, which is a space with a rather dark atmosphere. The architect wanted to give the spectator the impression of entering a cave before being dazzled by what they see later. On the ceiling, you can see Charles Garnier's signature, which was the first time in history that an architect put his signature on a building. Next, you will see the fascinating statue of Pythia of Delphi, who is a priestess of Apollo in Greek mythology. The ornamentation above is astounding. You continue your journey through to the astonishing grand staircase. It is beautifully decorated with marble, onyx, copper, paintings, gilding, and mosaics. It extends almost 100 feet into the air. It is topped by stunning ceiling paintings of allegories in music. Even in a building stuffed with sculptures and paintings, the grand staircase outshines them all for sheer lavishness. In Phantom of the Opera, the author chose the grand staircase as the backdrop to one of the most dramatic scenes in his novel, the appearance at the masked ball of Eric, dressed as the Red Death, trailing a cloak of red velvet. Now let's head into the Auditorium. The Auditorium occupies just under half the volume of the entire building. It was designed in a horseshoe shape for the audience to see and, more importantly, to be seen. Above the auditorium stretches the colorful ceiling painted by Marc Chagall. It depicts scenes from 14 famous operas and has a whimsical feeling about it, quite dissimilar to the rest of the decor. The bronze and crystal chandelier is famous for its size, weighing 7 tons, and inspired a scene in Phantom of the Opera. Eric sends this chandelier crashing into the audience during a performance of Faust, when the management refuses to cast Christine in the role of Marguerite. This fictional plot twist echoes a real incident from 1896, when one of the counterweights from the chandelier fell during a performance and killed a female patron. Peeking down hallways and around corners, we explored several other spaces, including rotundas, each with a unique theme and decor. These round rooms were originally private areas to entertain the Paris elite. Two of our favorites, though lesser known, are small rotundas dedicated to the sun and moon. The Salon of the Sun has a dome adorned with a golden sunburst and mirrored walls. The Salon of the Moon Dome is adorned with silver moon rays and other starry night sky details in both gold and silver leaf. On the eastern side of the opera is the Subscribers Rotunda. This entrance was once reserved for wealthy season ticket holders. The novel told us that Eric built his home in the middle of a subterranean lake just beneath the opera. And there really is an underground lake. One of the reasons why the building of the Opera House took so long to be completed was the presence of a lot of water in the soil. After months of trying to pump out the excess water, Charles Garnier decided to build a cistern into his design to redistribute the water. The cistern is one of the hidden gems of underground Paris, and it still exists today. Your final destination will be the magnificent Grand Foyer, a place with a unique set of mirrors and glasses inspired by the Hall of Mirrors in the Palace of Versailles. The space is 500 feet long, lined from one end to the other with glamorous chandeliers. The striking ceiling frescoes depict moments in the history of music, and these alone could absorb your entire afternoon. This hall had an important role in Paris society, as it was the perfect place to socialize while drinking champagne during the intermissions. Come to the Paris Opera and see and be seen. Watch this video to see what's next on our adventures and check out our customizable merchandise store. See you soon!